Today I want to talk to you about the basics of cellular respiration that you have probably learned in another class. If you have, it's a great review. If you haven't, it's a good precursor of what's to come. So there's a couple of things we're going to look at here. First of all the steps and processes are going to be in black. The reactants and products will be in red. And anytime we're talking about some energy carriers, so the coenzyme electron carriers or ATP, they will be in blue. We're going to start with glycolysis. Glycolysis takes a glucose and breaks it into 2-pyruvate. And when you do this, you get an output of 2 ATP as a net gain. So you input 2, you actually output 4, so we gain 2 overall. This process happens in the cytoplasm. You can see we're outside the mitochondria, and it also produces 2 NADH. The next step is to feed those pyruvate to pyruvate oxidation. So the 2-pyruvate get converted into 2 acetyl-CoAs and 2 CO2s. So each pyruvate was 3 carbons. Now an acetyl-CoA, that acetyl group is a 2-carbon with a CoA attached to it, a coenzyme A molecule. And so we're setting 2 carbons free in the form of carbon dioxide. This produces 2 NADH, 1 per pyruvate. Then we move on to the citric acid cycle. So we're going to feed each of those acetyl-CoA molecules in, and the product that comes out are carbon dioxide. So again, we're breaking those 2 carbon molecules into single carbons in the form of carbon dioxide. So we have 4 of them. So now we've broken our entire glucose down into carbon dioxide. And in doing so, we have produced 2 ATP, 1 per acetyl-CoA, and a lot of coenzymes here, 6 NADHs and 2 FADH2s. So all of these coenzymes are going to carry their electrons to oxidative phosphorylation. So the electron carriers, the coenzymes, will be oxidized. They will lose their electrons. And oxygen is reduced. So it gains the electrons, and in doing so, it picks up hydrogens. And that's how you produce water. So cellular respiration produces water because of this last step here. So if you don't have aerobic respiration, if you don't have that oxygen, you will not make water and you will not run this process. But that process takes in the NADHs and FADH2s. It even takes in the NADH from the cytoplasm, but in transferring that to the mitochondria, it could be 2 NADH or 2 FADH2 that pick up those electrons. So we have a range of ATP that could be produced because FADH2 drops its electrons off a little later, and just you don't get as much ATP produced because you're not pumping as many protons in or out rather of the mitochondrial matrix. So that's it. That's cellular respiration in a nutshell. Oxidative phosphorylation is what we sometimes call the electron transport chain or the electron transfer chain. So refer back to this whenever you need it, and I hope it helps you learn the coolness that is cellular respiration.